What up YouTube, it's your boy Taekwon, back with another banger. And in today's video, we have What's Next by Drake. Today's video is special because we're going to be doing a DIY, work from home, blue bolt tank. And I'm going to show you everything you need to buy all of the equipment and how you're going to be successful in raising the CARIDINA ornamental shrimp. So the first thing you'll want to do is buy a 2.5 gallon glass aquarium from your local PetSmart or Petco or Pet Supplies Plus. Should run you under 15 bucks there. And for the purposes of this video, you're going to want to pick up some Fluval Stratum. This is incredibly important in keeping your water parameters perfect for your shrimp, and that's going to be what's going to allow them to thrive in their environment. So this is the big bag. This is a 17.6 pound bag for 50 bucks. This never goes on sale, but they do sell the smaller version of the bag. I believe it's about half size for about 20 or 25 bucks. So I'd recommend going to your store, looking in the plant section of the aquatics and finding the small bag of Fluval Stratum to use this as a substrate for your DIY blue bolt tank. And then you'll want to pick up a internal filter. This one is a internal filter from PetSmart. It's the PetSmart brand top fin 5 gallon internal filter that you can get for 12 bucks. While you're at the pet store, make sure you pick up one piece of small Mopani driftwood. They have incredibly unique features and shapes and styles, so just find the one that suits you and the design that you like and pick one up. And on your way home, make sure you pick up a gallon of distilled water. Make sure it's distilled water from anywhere, CVS, Walgreens, Kroger's, Mariano's. Should cost you under 2 bucks. Now here's a really important step. You will want to wash your Fluval Stratum substrate briefly with water. So what I do is I cut the corner of the top left and top right of the bag, and I spray water in the bag until it's pretty much halfway full, and then I will just drain out all of the excess water. That's going to get a lot of the cloudiness out of there. If you don't follow that step, your water is going to be murky for a week, literally. And then another key is once you put your substrate at the bottom, make sure when you're adding your distilled water to put a rounded cup in there, not a square cup, a rounded cup like that. And you want to slowly pour the water into the cup and let it overflow over the top and fill the tank up, the entire tank up that way until it's full to the top. And this is going to make sure that your substrate does not get disturbed and your water remains super clear. And if you don't already have one at home, make sure you have these two things if you do want to raise new pet CARIDINA shrimp. Number one, a meat thermometer. You can find them anywhere for cheap, under 10 bucks. This will be able to read your water temperatures extremely quickly and extremely accurately. Number two, get yourself a TDS pen. TDS is short for Total Dissolved Solids in the water, and you can find it on Amazon for about $13. And the pen itself just comes in a little case. Now this is going to be one of the most important steps for you, and that's to buy some sort of mineral shrimp GH plus CARIDINA powder. You can find these on Amazon, small bottles like this one on the right for under 20 bucks, 15 bucks around, and then the big ones a little bit more expensive, about 15 to 20 bucks or so. But what you'll want to do is basically mix this up into your water until you get a TDS reading of 120 to 125. And then your water parameters are perfect and you are money. You press the on button and you have a TDS reading of 0. And then what you'll want to do is uncap this bad boy, and just stick it in your water. So here we have a reading of 132, which is fine. It's a little bit high for my shrimp, but Flip Aquatics attests to about 130. I'm about 120 to 125, but that's what you'll want it to read once you've put in your GH+. So in 1 gallon of water, and they'll have dosage instructions, but typically, I mean, you're going to add a lot more than you think initially. So I'm talking, you know, full scoops, at least a couple to get started, and you'll test it. And then I did add an LED light to the top of the tank, and this LED light is just a simple 1-foot LED light you can get at Home Depot in their hydroponics and grow light section for, I want to say about 10 bucks or so. What I did is I just placed it on top of there near the back because it's a really strong LED light, and it kind of sits up there by itself, so you don't really need any sort of hanger or clip. It'll just sit on top of the 2.5 gallon and provide really, really good and strong light, which is a key factor in the health of any of your ornamental shrimp. Great light. And here's kind of the look of the final DIY work-from-home Blue Bolt tank. So, like I was saying before, once you have the substrate down and you put your rounded cup in there to add your distilled water, you want to make sure to add all of your wood. In this case, I actually decided to get a different piece of wood. I believe this is a Chopani wood that was 12 bucks because it fit exactly inside of the 2.5 gallon. So I just threw that one in there, and I had a couple plants left over. I would highly, highly recommend putting Java moss, some sort of moss, and some plants in there. One, because the plants look nice, but two, the plants and the moss especially help to filter the nitrates and the nitrites out of the water, to make sure that the water is going to continue to remain clear and clean for these shrimp to be able to thrive and hopefully even reproduce for you. So here we have I believe this is a Crit Parva, and then in the back here I threw an Anubia. And then this is one of the moss balls, the Morimo moss balls, or Massimo moss balls, I believe they call them. You can get them at Petco. They're pretty expensive though. They're like 3 to 5 bucks a pop. But the shrimp really like to love them. And I put the filter just right on top, if you can see right there. It's kind of just suction cupped at the bottom with the bottom two, and then you want to make sure that the water is agitated and stirring as much as possible. Don't let other videos tell you that these guys don't like strong currents. They love strong currents. So make sure that there's much agitation as possible, and you don't need an aerator if you have some sort of good agitation and filter like a 5 gallon one. If you have an internal filter that you can find that's bigger and better for these guys, go ahead and use that. Any sort of filter is going to help versus not having one on there. And then finally, all you got to do is add your shrimp. And in this tank, I have probably about 25 or so just kind of medium to low grade blue bolts, because the company that I ordered them from sent me the wrong batch. They scooped low grade when I ordered super high grade and extremes, so I couldn't have them breed with my super high grade crystal red. So I threw them in this tank by themselves, and they just look fantastic. I love just spending my time kind of staring at these guys and checking them out, because they really do have some amazing, amazing colors to them. I heard you was giving your chain away. That's kind of like giving your fame away. What's wrong with you? I sit in a box where the owners do. A boss is a road that I've grown into. I love you to death, but I told you to. So I hope you guys really like the look of the tank. Beautiful little 2.5 gallon that you can set up in your office or for your kids or for a cool area of your home. And once you have the water parameters correct, These guys are set it and forget it. You never have to do water changes, you never have to worry about your fish smelling or anything like that. These guys are just going to be beautiful, and if they like their conditions, which hopefully they will, they'll actually reproduce and maybe create a baby that's super unique and colorful and something you've never seen before. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, Taekwon Aquatics. Smash that like button, comment down below, and peace out.